I'm Trish Toby with WARC reporting to you live from Westchester, New York, where there appears to be some sort of mutant menace on the loose.
Hey, I'm Pat Reber.
And I'm Matt Allcamp.
And say it with us, Pete.
Welcome
to
Mutant
Menace. Not our best.
It's my best. It was real good on my part. I did real well. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. I was too busy paying attention to my own and how good I was doing. Yes?
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
No time for that now, Matt. Welcome. We have so many emails to cover, Matt. We are now
filthy rich with emails.
Yes. Yeah. We've got some old standards. We've got some new ones. If I'm missing your email, I'm sorry. We were at the point where we discussed where we have just so many emails.
If emails was eggnog, we'd have the best Christmas ever.
I'm also, what I'm doing today, okay, there are a couple of consensuses. Number one, everyone agrees we should just use old ads. You can stop sounding off about that. Thank you, everyone, for your opinions. But yeah, we'll make sure there's a Pat's Steals and Deals in every episode.
Do you think that was it all different people, or were there emailers who emailed multiple times to say you should do old ads?
No. Everyone has had one take, and the vote has been overwhelming. It's unanimous.
Also, they don't get a vote.
That's true. It's ultimately our decision, but in our opinion poll. The other consensus is that Abby Denton was a terrific guest.
Yeah,
so
we know
she got plenty of shout outs. The other thing a lot of people do is ask us hypothetical questions, or like, what do you think about this questions? I am excluding those not because they are bad. A lot of them are very good questions. Some of them are stinkers, but a lot of them are really good questions. The problem is that you're trying to derail us, and I see what you're doing. We've got to be able to get through this. So Pat's email corner begins.
You can't derail Pat is the thing. That's
right,
the thing. Is
exactly.
You can't derail Pat. He's always going to be totally focused. He's always going to keep on. He's going to keep on task.
Like
the thing.
Like a bullet. You cannot derail.
Wait,
me.
In what ways? What ways are you like a bullet?
As in, like, I move forward. I guess there's not.
What other ways are you like a bullet? Yeah, like what other ways?
Similar to a bullet, other than that, if you think about it.
Like what?
I'm pretty calm. I'm not very explosive. I'm fairly round. I guess we share that.
You and a bullet.
Me and a bullet.
Do you feel like you're as round now as you always were?
No. I've changed shapes. I've been fitter. I've always been this stout though, and sort of like, yeah, stout is a good word.
If you identify
Matt.
with the word, the point is that you can't derail Pat.
Yeah. So stop trying. Okay, email number 1 is from Gregor. Matt, you remember Gregor? We were having a hard time assigning him a nickname.
Yeah.
We asked for his opinion, not his choice, but he says, "Hey, Pat, tell Matt, I'll take Pirate Gregor, sure."
Why did we call him Pirate Gregor?
I'm not sure, but if that's his attitude about it, I don't think that's the course we want to go.
Well, I almost want to call him Pirate Gregor out of, like
sarcastically.
Yeah, Pirate Gregor.
Gregor.
Because
Gregor
he's
thinks he's a pirate.
Fine, I'll take Pirate Gregor. Well, fucking fine then. You're Pirate Gregor.
Yeah. You're Gregor that thinks he's a pirate.
Pirate in quotes Gregor.
Okay, thank you, Pirate Gregor. Up next is Inkmaster writing back in. Hi, Pat. Tell Matt that I loved Abby as a guest and would love for her to come on again sometime.
Okay.
Also, I think We Are the Mutant Menace, as she's mistakenly thought it was, is actually a much catchier intro.
Huh. Hard disagree.
I'll say I agree, but we're not changing it. We'd have to fly Pete all the way back in from Australia to re-record. It's welcome
episode
to Mutant Menace.
38. You can't.
We're still workshopping the intro. All right, moving on. Email Michael wrote back in. He says, hey, Pat, tell Matt that my response to Pat's response to my email about episode 33, which you guys read in episode 35, in which Pat said my email was fine, and you, Matt, asked how I feel about that, is I'm fine with that response. It wasn't my worst work or my best. As a reminder, I asked if Wolverine could defeat a downdraft in a one-on-one fight, and everyone decided that if his claws could cut psychic energy, then they could probably defeat the wind. Seems fine to me.
Hey, seems fine to me too, Email Michael. I'm totally with you. I don't know how I felt about your last email. I can't remember.
Pat also asked anyone from Pittsburgh to write in saying they were from Pittsburgh. I'm not, so I can't. That's just how it is. There are lots of places I'm not from. Another home run. Email Michael. Thank you. Up next, we have Sine Wave Sean.
Same trick. You post the same trick every email, and every email it gets me.
Yeah.
Every single time. I don't see it coming.
He just convinces me to make fun of myself. Sine Wave Sean has written back in. I believe we sent out the Sine Wave Sean signal in our Dracula episode. He says, hey, Pat, tell Matt, welcome back. Also, he is pronouncing Sienkiewicz right.
I know.
Sienkiewicz.
I know.
He knows. He goes on to say, I don't believe Lilith is a figure in Irish mythology, as we might have speculated, but she does show up in the Capcom fighting game Darkstalkers, where she's linked to a character named after the Irish triple goddess Morrigan. So that's fun.
Well, okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sine Wave Sean. We have a new emailer, Kaz.
Kaz?
Maybe Kaz. Hey, Pat. Hey, Matt. Sorry. Kaz opens up saying, sorry, IDK the format, which is very clear.
If you know there's a format, then you know the format.
It's not hard. I'll tell you what, back up about 3 minutes in this episode, back to the start of Pat's email corner, see if you notice a theme, and then...
Kaz, you can't trick us. You know there's a format, thus, you can't know there is a format if you don't. Right?
Right. You can't derail us and you can't trick us.
I'm...
Kaz says, hey, Pat, hey,
Better
Matt,
syllables than you have tried.
Kaz says, hey, Pat, hey, Matt, Kaz here. And I wanted to say, love the pod and y'all's breakdown of the stories.
Oh, thank you, Kaz.
Yeah, sorry for making fun of you. My would you rather is, would you rather have Wolverine's healing factor, but your visible age isn't slowed, so you still end up looking old as hell after 70 to 80 years? Or Gambit's powers, but the only thing you can charge to explode are dildos, and you have to say, take discharge here, mon ami, in his accent, of course. Love the pod, can't wait for the next step. Okay, I did leave this one in.
Would you rather Wolverine's healing factor, but your age, you show your age, or Gambit's power, but you have to do dildos and say discharge here, mon ami? No, I wouldn't rather that.
All right, great answer.
What about you, Pat? No, what about you?
No, I agree. I rather wouldn't.
Very good question, though. I really appreciate it.
Up next, Damie writes to us, also ignoring formatting rules, saying, longtime listener, first-time emailer, I'm binging the show and revisiting my love of X-Men. I guess they found us on Bing. Maybe we should...
Pat, I don't want to correct you here in your segment.
Yes?
But I really think that the word is binging.
I'm pretty sure there's an E in binging.
Okay. You think there's an E in binging? Okay.
Yes.
I don't think there is. I really don't.
MutantMenacePod@gmail.com. Is there an E in the word binging? Anyway, Damie has volunteered to join our street team.
Oh, yeah! We haven't had somebody join our street team in a while, but we did, not that long ago, send out our first very, very late street team packages.
If you're listening and you're part of the street team, please, we forgot to take pictures of the drawings we did. Can you take pictures of them for us and send them in?
We know they're bad. We know they're bad. That's why we want the pictures.
Anyway, Damie goes on with some interesting information here. In the Pat Steals and Deals segment, that Toot Toot Tootsie Hello advert was a take on an old 20s standard, Toot Toot Tootsie Goodbye, known to be performed by Pearl Bailey, Al Jolson, and even Betty Boop.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you two talking about?
No, Matt, you don't remember this? It was...
no, what the fuck are you talking about?
We found a Tootsie Pop ad that just said Toot Toot Tootsie Hello, and we were baffled by it. We couldn't figure out what that meant.
If we saw something
Damie
like
knows.
that, I would remember it.
Thank you, Damie. This is really good. Al Jolson, Matt. First Al Jolson mention on the podcast, I believe.
First of many, many in the future.
Just wait till we get to the Jim Lee era. That guy. Finally, we have Mikey Two Males wrote in his traditional two males. I have condensed them into one here. Hey, Pat, tell Matt I said welcome back. My wife and I absolutely love Stardew Valley, and both have put a lot of hours into it to the point where between us, we have married every bachelor and bachelorette. This is, thank you, Mikey. I am so relieved to learn that two partners can get into Stardew Valley at the same time and the relationship can last.
I think most couples do. Right? Like, it's Stardew Valley is for couples. It is for a video game partner and a non-video game partner to finally connect for the first time in their lives.
Right. Gives us something to talk about in
bed.
In our beds at the dinner table. Please don't talk about me and my wife in there. Mikey Two Males also puts his hat into the ring to host our Story So Far episode coming up.
You know, I forgot if I was going to bring that up this episode. I forgot if we had started soliciting, but
we either did or Mikey Two Males is just
ahead of
volunteering anyway. Yeah. But yeah, please, if you are interested, if you, I believe we said have somewhat of a mic presence, pretty minimal, but you know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
And are pretty familiar with the show. We just want someone to help us remember everything that's happened over the last 20 episodes.
Right. As you can tell from this episode, we don't remember fucking anything we say on this podcast. Granted, it's a little worse for me right now because Pat edited the past 3 episodes while I was away in London. So I'm remembering less than usual, but
not exactly the past 3. The last one they heard was edited by you.
All right, man.
Just to be clear, I don't want
in front of Mikey Two Males.
If they're trying to,
is that what you want to do?
If
is
they're
that
trying
what
to
you're
figure the puzzle out, I don't want to give them any false information. Oh, Matt, that is it for Pat's email corner. We finally got through that big pile of mail that's been building up.
Yeah, there's number 1, it's a fire hazard. Number 2, you don't take good care of the mail, so there's like cockroaches in it and stuff. There's like fruit flies flying around the mail. It's like folks, damp. It's damp.
Please stop sending us food. I appreciate the gesture, but it's creating some hazards.
Because you can't eat all of it fast enough.
Matt,
you do eat some of it.
Matt, what are we doing today?
We're gonna... You're throwing me off, Pat.
Think about it.
Because I don't even know if you've done anything X-Men related this past week.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Fuck.
God.
Matt.
Okay? Yeah.
Have you done anything X-Men related this week?
No. No, I don't think so. I returned from You know what? Here's something X-Men related.
Mhm.
It's the beginning of eggnog season.
Whoa, it truly is.
I bought my first eggnog of
Yo.
the year. I actually got the I like a good local nog.
Yes,
But
yeah.
this year I started with a Southern Comfort.
The Southern Comfort eggnog?
Not an alcoholic eggnog either. The
Yeah.
Southern Comfort, just like regular old eggnog, spiced
I'm
eggnog.
familiar.
It's real good.
It is real good.
They
make a pumpkin one too that's actually pretty good.
And they make a vanilla one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of them good eggnogs.
As far as national brands go, yeah, really solid.
So that's the X-Men related thing I've done. Pat, have you done anything X-Men related this week?
No, kind of the opposite. I've done, to be clear, it's been about 56 hours since we last recorded an episode. And I've done a lot of relaxing.
Oh,
and
okay. The X-Men never relax.
No. And hanging out with friends without disaster striking.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it was nice, but it wasn't X-Men related.
Yeah.
So, again, no. To answer your question, Matt. Thank you for asking, though.
So this week we're going to be talking about something brand new to us. In fact, we've never even heard of it. It's something called the New Mutants.
New Mutants? Now I know what a mutant is, Matt. Mm-hmm. What's a new mutant?
Imagine one that you haven't met before and like a couple of them that you haven't met before, so it's plural.
Ooh.
And
like when we met Kitty Pryde and Dazzler in the same issue.
Very much like when we met Kitty Pryde and Dazzler in the same issue, and I'll explain why in a minute. So the New Mutants were... Okay, this is how they were born. There's some of this that's clearly apocryphal because there's some argument amongst the people who worked at Marvel at the time about this. Supposedly, Jim Shooter wanted to do a third Spider-Man book. And Tom DeFalco and Mark Grunwald, who were handling the Spider-Man books at the time, were like, "What? Why are we doing a third Spider-Man book?" Look, actually, Pat, it might have even been a fucking fourth. And he and Mark Grunwald were like, "Why are we doing another Spider-Man book when X-Men is by far the highest selling title?" And Jim Shooter agreed. So he was going to... Supposedly there was going to be a second X book that took place on the West Coast, but Chris Claremont and Louise Jones at the time found out and were like, no, you're not going to do that. X-Men is ours, and we're going to figure out what to do. And they came up with this idea of bringing the X-Men back to the idea of students.
Yeah.
Now, there is some argument about this, because they, even in interviews at the time, they called the New Mutants the X-Babies. They seemed to not want to do the book, to be honest. Okay. So that was in interviews at the time. Again, in this Comic Creators on X-Men book from the early 2000s, that's not how Chris explains it. But in the old X-Men Companion books from Fantagraphics, like way back in the 80s, they are clearly not very happy with doing this New Mutants book. And the way John Byrne puts it, and granted, as we know, Byrne fucking claims to have invented everything, right? But Byrne claims that throughout his time, and this is how Kitty Pryde and Dazzler tie in, throughout his time on the X-Men, Jim Shooter kept like he had a philosophy, like, we are going to bring everything back to day one, whatever Stan and Jack wanted, however they conceived of these characters is
Mhm.
how we're going to do the characters. And thus the X-Men should be a book about kids
That's
in a school.
interesting. Yeah.
And they created Kitty Pryde, or John Byrne claims he created Kitty Pryde specifically to get Jim Shooter off their backs.
To be like, here's a child that can be a student and
Right.
also be a part of this thing that we've built.
But Jim Shooter apparently just kept pushing, and also apparently the according to John Byrne in that same story, Dazzler was totally foisted upon them in that issue.
Okay.
Anyway, so
That checks out.
supposedly then when this happened, it was Jim Shooter who was like, hey, remember John Byrne's idea? I need you guys to do that. And Claremont and Louise Jones were like, fine, we'll do it. They're like, basically Jim Shooter was like, if you aren't going to do it, somebody else is. So they're like, fine.
Yeah.
He also supposedly, according to Byrne, called him up and was like, hey, you're not going to make trouble about this, are you? And Byrne was like, fine, I'll sign away the rights to the New Mutants concept. Which, the concept that there'd be more mutants? What are you talking about, John Byrne?
Yeah,
This didn't happen. That couldn't happen. Anyway. He's like, I'll do that if you make Chris sign a thing saying he didn't come up with the Alpha Flight, because he didn't. So, anyway.
Okay. Whatever, man.
So at the same time, Marvel had just launched their graphic novel series. They were trying to mimic that like French high quality comic book format with like full color art and glossy pages and heavier stock covers. And they had commissioned a bunch of artists and writers and given them advances like you would in a normal publishing company. And comic book writers and artists aren't used to working that way. So they just took the advances and then started doing monthly work to keep paying their bills. And so the graphic novel line fell really far behind. So by that point, Chris Claremont and Bob McLeod had already started working on New Mutants #1, and Jim Shooter was like, no, we're going to debut them in a graphic novel format. So they had to just elongate the thing.
Just make it an extra 20 pages.
Exactly.
Wow.
Now, there's, again, some argument about this. Was it 22 pages and they made him stretch it all the way to graphic novel size, or was it a double-sized issue and they made him stretch it another
now
like
it's a graphic novel
10 pages or something and turned
Yeah.
it into a graphic novel? Again, some conflicting stuff on that, but either way, the agreed upon story is they didn't know it was going to be a graphic novel, and Claremont was always upset that it happened this way. He says he would have done it differently if he knew.
Okay.
So, thus is born the New Mutants, aka the X-Babies.
It works.
All right, so all that
Wow.
history aside, do you want to talk about Marvel graphic novel #4, aka the New Mutants, aka Renewal?
Yes, Matt. I think it all comes together quite nicely.
Written by Chris Claremont, penciled and inked by Bob McLeod. Pat, who's Bob McLeod?
Bob McLeod is, aside from being the co-creator of the New Mutants, is mostly just a bullpen guy. He's mostly an inker. He inked Kraven's Last Hunt, which I know is pretty iconic, but this is one where he was given the pencils as well. He insisted on inking his own pencils. Louise Jones granted him that right, and as a result, it pretty consistently ran behind deadline.
I also don't think he's a very good inker, which we might be. Yeah.
We'll let Weapon Jason weigh in on that.
That guy, he's gonna say no. He hates inkers.
He hates inkers. He actually, shortly after the graphic novel was released, went on his honeymoon, and because he was inking his own work, ended up having to do a lot of inking on his honeymoon just so that they could catch up to the deadlines that they had been missing.
Romantic.
So he eventually has the pencils taken away from him, and it's probably for the best because it results in some beautiful things, but he also describes this as a miserable experience for him.
Oh my god, really? Like he hated this.
Yes, I love that every single person involved has so many complaints about what is just one of the absolute best. Let's get into it.
Like, it's good. It's good. It's a good thing that they made, and they all hate it.
Yeah.
That's wow. But here's the thing, fucking Pat, you're saying he was angry because of a thing he demanded. He demanded, I need to ink my own stuff. And then he left the project furious that they made him ink his own stuff.
Yeah, he's an artist.
It's Burn syndrome.
Yeah.
All right. That's the penciler and the inker. Colored by Glynis Ween. Lettered by Tom Orzechowski. Edited by Louise Jones. Release date September 7th, 1982. Cover date November 1982. Scotland.
Ooh.
Moira McTaggart is chilling on the moors in her family estate when a giant wolf leaps over her, collapses on the ground, and turns into a nude girl. Moira recognizes the girl as 14-year-old Rain Sinclair, suffering from a gunshot wound.
Oh my god.
She's being pursued by a man named Reverend Craig and a torch-wielding mob, but Moira shames them into turning away and carries the girl off to see Charles Xavier.
Was Scotland in the 80s stuck in like a turn-of-the-century Frankenstein-style monarchy? What's going on here?
Every European country, besides England, according to Chris Claremont,
it's torch-wielding mobs.
Wielding mobs just roving around the countryside waiting for a leader.
Peasant clothes.
And a victim. I know. Also, clearly, Bob McLeod got the Moira McTaggart has giant boobs note.
Yeah, her form has been changing quite a bit over the last few artists, but
do you think Chris Claremont writes that in his script? He's like, Moira, who has giant boobs, is sitting on the highlands of Scotland.
Yeah. Hey, Paul seems to have forgotten this important note about Moira McTaggart, so please make sure, Bob, that you include it.
Looking past her huge boobs, she sees Rain Sinclair on the ground. All right, Brazil. Roberto da Costa, high school soccer superstar, football, actually, but it's soccer, but it's football, is cheered on by his father and girlfriend in a crowd of hundreds as he makes a stunning goal. Some racist boys from the opposing team start beating him up, and suddenly, he changes. His skin becomes black as a void, Kirby crackle popping off him in a yellow glow, and he throws a racist boy across the pitch. He calls for help, confused and burning hot as the crowd flees in fear, all save his girlfriend, Juliana, who reaches him just as he collapses back in human form. And we pull out to see a ruffled sleeve watching the scene on a fancy comic book computer, its owner vowing to destroy all mutants.
Okay. I'm going to spoil a couple of things here. Number one, you see, as this will not be a spoiler by the end of the novel here, but you see a frilly white sleeve under some sort of suit jacket.
Yeah.
This is the Hellfire Club.
Yeah, like
obvious.
Are you supposed to not know? Are you supposed to be like, God, who could be wearing a frilly white sleeve?
Number two,
yeah,
Roberto da Costa, I know, debuts as an Afro-Brazilian, right? He clearly has very dark skin here.
Yes.
And in future issues, he does not. And I'm sure when we get there, it's going to be quite a shock. But
Yes.
I hope it's not too much of a spoiler that he just is no longer black in future issues, or at some point in the future.
Yes.
I did not realize, or sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just going to say it changes several times, like depending on who the artist is and who the editor is, fucking, which sucks.
Yeah.
He's various levels of black.
Which is egregious, but I didn't
Yes.
realize it was this egregious because the racism is built into his backstory.
Right.
Like,
Right.
the fact that he is dark-skinned is what they're focusing on. It
Yeah.
is bizarre. His girlfriend, by the way, is in Brazil in the 80s and has blonde hair and blue eyes. Where do you think she got those?
So, we move on to Kentucky. It's 16-year-old Sam Guthrie's first day in the mines. His father recently passed away from black lung, and he's given up his college scholarship to feed his mother and many siblings. In a bad turn of luck, the mine collapses. The miners flee, but Sam stays behind to save a coworker as rocks fall on top of them. Suddenly, his body begins to glow and he shoots out of the ground like a rocket, saving the man. They fall to the ground unharmed while Ruffled watches and wonders if the boy can be useful to him. Colorado. Danielle Moonstar is hugging a mountain lion. Moving on, Westchester. No, Danielle Moonstar is hugging a mountain lion when her grandfather, Black Eagle, climbs up the mountain to talk to her. He's invited a man named Charles Xavier, who was apparently her father's blood brother. No, they don't explain this in the book, but they talk about it. He talks about it in interviews before this book comes out. Apparently, Danny Moonstar's father and him served in Korea together.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Not brother by blood.
No.
Blood brother. Okay.
Yeah, blood brother. So Black Eagle calls Charles Xavier to take Danny into his tutelage. She's incensed. She can't go learn from a white. She hates whites.
Yeah.
That's what she says. But in her anger, she conjures an image in thin air of her grandfather being beaten by men in weird armor. As you do when you get angry.
It's once we learn a little more about her powers, it makes a little more sense, but it just kind of seems like this is what she does when she throws a tantrum, is conjures an image of that person getting beat up, just getting punched in the stomach.
If anyone makes just like, this is what it looked like if you got beat up by robots.
Sorry, go on.
He points to the incident to show her that she needs to learn things that he can't teach her. She agrees as we pull out and see the ruffle sleeve belongs to a Revolutionary War dandy named,
of course,
Pierce. We also always, anytime it's Hellfire Club stuff, we learn their last name first. I don't know why. Except for, here's the one exception to this, which is Tessa.
Yeah, we also meet Tessa. Well, it could be a last name.
We've seen her as Sebastian Shaw's assistant.
Okay.
And anyway, she's in captivity behind Pierce yelling at him, and that's how we find out his name. He plans to take over the Hellfire Club and use it to kill all mutants. Plus, he's racist against Native Americans, too. Yeah. This, I wonder, is why he watches all these diverse mutants, and he looks at Sam Guthrie, and he's like, well, this boy I can use.
Look at that blonde hair.
So, speaking of being racist against Native Americans, we cut back to a sleeping Danny who wakes up at the, quote, hour of the wolf.
Ooh.
That's what Chris Claremont writes in the book.
Sounds scary.
To a psychic scream. She races on horseback to find her grandfather dead on the ground. She remembers her projection and realizes he knew this was coming. She swears vengeance. Westchester, New York. Moira and Xavier are doing some experiments on our old pal, Xiankoi Man, in the rebuilt mansion basement.
Karma.
Karma,
She
yeah.
possesses people.
Yes. Well, Rain Sinclair sits and watches. Xavier notes that Jan is a powerful psychic, but in a specific way. She gives a demonstration by possessing Moira and shows that while she has complete control of her host, she can still control her own body.
Moira is like weirdly willing to volunteer for this.
Please, ooh, ooh, me. I also love Professor Xavier here because Bob McLeod draws Xavier's face like a shaved Santa Claus.
Yes.
He
looks like a Dr. Seuss character.
He's all plump and jolly. Okay, so this experience of Shan possessing Moira, it freaks out Rain, who transforms to a werewolf and begins to growl. The professor calms her, and Karma relinquishes control to Moira, who remembers nothing of the possession. Cool, they all think. Let's get some lunch. On the way, Shan retells her origin story, and Rain asserts that mutant powers are gifts from Satan, but Xavier doesn't think so. He talks psychically with Moira about how the X-Men are dead in space and he doesn't want to sacrifice any other mutants for his dream. Moira convinces him that, despite this, he's the best chance these girls have. He agrees to help them and even to allow Shan to take a job at the mansion to raise money for her siblings, Leong and Ya. Just then, Black Eagle's telegram appears for Xavier.
They have this whole conversation psychically.
Yes.
By the way, it is just Shan and Rain just have to sit there for, it must take about 90 seconds based on the dialogue that's written there, and watch them stare real hard at each other.
Well, then again, remember that time Cyclops had a whole conversation with himself while he was midair trying to dive into a closing door? So maybe in the Marvel Universe, people just talk really, really fast. Like
really quickly.
Gilmore Girls on fast forward.
The following day, they gather around Black Eagle's corpse laying on a wooden bier. They're too late to save him, but where is his granddaughter? The scene around them suddenly changes to the horrors of Vietnam, pulled straight from Jan's memory, and before they can reorient, an explosion erupts behind them.
Fuck.
Danny Moonstar is running from two men in chunky robot armor like from her grandfather's vision. They're bragging about killing Xavier and riding Jetson-style hover scooters when Danny's mountain lion leaps onto one of them. The man kills it like right away, no problem, and grabs Danny by the arm, but Karma takes over his mind and makes him shoot lasers at his friends.
Oh, man.
Professor X then takes over and paralyzes him. Danny keeps trying to kill the guy as Xavier keeps stopping her and trying to calm her down and get her to come with him. He was a friend of her parents, and he can't leave her alone on a mountain with dangerous powers she doesn't understand. We also learn that Danny is Cheyenne. Rufflesleeve's name is Donald Pierce, and he has two other targets, one in Brazil and one in Kentucky.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
Danny agrees reluctantly to join Xavier, but only to exact her revenge on Pierce. The next day, in Brazil, the girls and Moira are in a hotel room when some cops break in and start slapping Moira.
They just come in and slap her like right away.
Fucking cops. They think the group has something to do with an attempted abduction of Roberto da Costa and the disappearance of his girlfriend Juliana. Karma possesses one of the cops' minds, but intuits that Moira doesn't want them to escape yet. So she has the cops put unlocked cuffs on her and Danny, and when they're out in public, she makes the one cop punch the other. Pretty good revenge.
Good job.
In the chaos, she and Danny lose themselves in the crowd. Moira stays behind, but tells them to find Roberto and Juliana.
This also is never explained why these cops think they have something to do with it, right?
It's because they called, I guess, the embassy and asked about him specifically hours before the attempted kidnapping.
Oh, okay.
They're grasping at straws, right? They're just saying, well, here's a possible lead. Let's
Okay.
go slap them.
Hey, hey, Donnie. Yeah, Bill, you want to go slap a woman? Yeah, let's go. I mean, is this some sort of commentary of how Chris Claremont sees Brazil?
Maybe. Or it's how he sees the authorities.
Yeah.
So Moira stays behind, letting the cops arrest her, but tells them, Danny and Jeanne, to find Roberto and Juliana. That night, they do. With a portable Cerebro, they watch Roberto sneak out of his family estate and follow him to a warehouse. At this warehouse, some Hellfire goons are inside and they start slapping him around.
God, a lot of slapping.
He changes into that crackling black form and punches them, but they, however, are those guys that Wolverine tore up, so they're cyborgs and can handle a super strength punch.
Yeah.
These guys hate their jobs. But what choice do they have? Otherwise they're dead. They're just left for scraps by Wolverine.
I mean, is that it? Like, they're in too deep at this point? You'd think they'd just be like, all right, one time I got carved up by a man with knife hands. I'm gonna go get a job at Target.
Yeah. Now I'm super strong. Maybe I'll go work in construction.
Right. But no, they keep getting...
They're committed.
They keep getting punched by mutants.
Roberto's form unexpectedly fades and he's overcome with exhaustion, but thankfully, Karma and Moonstar are here.
Yay!
Karma possesses a goon but has trouble using his cybernetic body. So instead, Moonstar summons an image of their deepest, most primal fear, Wolverine. As the goons panic, things start to go comically wrong for the kids. Danny accidentally flying kicks the guy Karma is possessing. Roberto transforms and punches Karma in the stomach. The goon recovers, calls everyone bunkies, and shoots all around the room, grazing Karma.
Another graze. Also, he calls everyone bunkies. This issue, Pat, I don't know if you noticed, is just full of people calling people weird stuff.
Yes, they've got so many nicknames for each other.
There's Bunky. Rain calls people a spalleen. That's
got to be a Scottish thing.
It's got to be a Scottish thing.
Spalleen.
They call Roberto a boy chick. Do you know what that is?
Is that transphobic?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've never heard of it before. I don't know if it's something...
I imagine like an effeminate man is what they're going for.
The meaning of boy chick is young man. Oh, like little boy. Chicken chick. Boy chick.
Like a baby rooster.
Like a baby, yeah.
Okay.
Also, swine, punk, goon, brat, mutie, Anglo, half-breed, animal, like just all throughout. Everybody's just calling people names nonstop, and some of them are weird and some of them are racist.
Juliana tackles Roberto to the ground to save him from the rest of the gunfire. Danny Moonstar puts an end to it by conjuring an image of Wolverine so strong that the last goon curls up in a ball on the ground shaking.
Yeah, it's like when John Cassidy drew that picture of Wolverine in like the 2010s.
Danny tells Jeanne that when she uses her powers, it creates a psychic rapport between her and her target, and his terror was overwhelming. To this, Roberto replies, good, because in the fracas, the man shot and killed Juliana. He blames himself, but swears vengeance, and so joins the group. I do love that at this point, him and Danny are both like, sure, we'll join this team because we're going to fucking kill this guy.
Right.
Meanwhile, in Kentucky, Xavier and Rain are driving a Jeep through the woods when a boy slams into it head first. That boy is Sam Guthrie in his blasting form, the one that shot him out of the mine safely. The car tips over and catches fire as Rain turns into a wolf and leaps to safety. Sam, dressed in a Hellfire goon uniform, seems upset and
What?
pulls Xavier from the Jeep. He could have
Sam?
sworn he saw someone else in the car and tells this to the other Hellfire goons that show up and put Xavier in a helicopter. He's worried about the missing girl because the woods are dangerous, but the other goons tell him to shut up and do as he's told or he won't get paid. So they take off and leave Rain in the woods alone. As a wolf, though, she picks up Xavier's scent and follows him to a pseudo-military compound. We get a good display of her powers as she shifts from wolf to werewolf, leaps a fence, back to wolf to scare off some attack dogs, and back to werewolf to leap another fence. In werewolf form again.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
It's an incredible. It's also what a revelation that she just doesn't just go from girl to wolf. She can also be a fucking hybrid werewolf.
Girl wolf.
Yeah. Girl.
And like she changes mid jump, like mid air, because she sees that like it's I don't know. It's fucking cool.
And the way Bob McLeod draws it is very like medieval drawings of cats and dogs. Like it's got this eerie sort of feeling to it just because it looks a little bit wrong.
Right.
In werewolf form again, she watches Donald Pierce taunt Xavier and Tessa, who are strapped to a device called a mind tap that sucks information out of brains.
Wait, what?
A mind tap that sucks information out of brains.
Okay, hold on. I don't know that clears it up. It's a mind tap. It sucks information out of brains?
Yes.
You're telling me?
It dampens his psychic powers and, more importantly, pulls the data from his brain into their computer.
How do thoughts just turn into... Pat, what is the conversion format of thoughts? Is it PDF? Is it image? Is it a PNG?
I imagine it's like a Word doc and then it's got some images sloppily copy pasted into it.
Okay. That's what thoughts is.
At that moment, the other kids arrive. Danny discovers that her psychic rapport with animals extends to Rain's wolf form, so she says Danny into her mind. She just says her own name.
Happened. She just says her own name at Ray.
Danny.
And it's like, what
if I got psychic powers and the first thing I did was contact you to say Pat Reaper?
But that is what you would do.
So they discover this rapport and they begin to form a plan when Sam Guthrie rockets to the roof to stop the intruder, but falls to the ground in shock when he sees a werewolf. Wolfman! This guy's gonna be an X-Man. They had to face Frankenstein.
Oh man, you know what? We didn't mention it either. It's just like fucking why was Moira McTaggart like, all right, kids, you go off on your own?
Yeah, they are forming squads.
Yeah. Moira had to fly them here.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then she's just like, all right, you guys go save the day. I'm gonna chill.
I'll talk to the police. You guys go and fight the superhumans.
Yeah, I had one too many cocktails, so I can't go be superhero today. But you guys, man, you guys are gonna do great.
While Sam starts to piece together the connection between the werewolf on the roof, the wolf who has just leapt down in front of him, and the girl from the car, suddenly he sees the mine cave in form around him again and goes blasting off in terror. While he's out of the way, Rain starts biting Hellfire goons and Roberto punches a hole through the wall of the facility. Sam Guthrie blasts back in to stop them, but Roberto casually dodges and he goes barreling into the ground, protected by his blast form.
That's so funny. Sam's like, oh, I'll stop you. And Roberto, without even just like,
Yeah, he just like
eh.
just ducks his head.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeanne tries to possess him, but she's too distracted to use her powers, so instead she grabs a gun and fires wildly, scattering the goons.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
never funnier than when you see a superhero wielding a rifle. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Inside, Roberto starts tearing up every machine he can see, and Rain leaps onto Pierce, biting his Ruffled's sleeve and finding bionics inside instead of flesh. He kicks her
Whoa.
across the room and with his bionic brain laughs off an attempt by Danny to summon his fears. Despite recognizing that Rain has a pierced lung, Xavier nevertheless psychically orders her to come turn off the
God
mind
damn it.
tap while Roberto bursts in and distracts Pierce. There are 5 other people in this room.
You piece of shit. How is he still this bad? How is he still this bad?
Roberto's only able to distract Pierce for a second, though, as Sam, named Cannonball by Pierce, rockets into the room and slams Roberto into the far wall. Xavier notes that he's literally killing Rain, and she begs for mercy, but still he forces her to climb the machine.
She's like, I'm dying. Yeah. This is killing me. I can't keep doing this. And he's like, you are going to, and I'm making you with my powers.
Karma hops in and tries to possess Pierce, but he zaps her with cybernetic electricity powers. Holding Roberto captive, Cannonball asks if Pierce wants him to throw them off the property or call the sheriff. Pierce, in a rage, demands that he kill them. Nossir is all Sam Guthrie says.
Hold on, I'm pretty sure it's Nossir.
It's Nossir. It's one word.
Yeah, it's definitely
Nossir.
But it's Nossir, and you just ruined one of the best moments that Sam Guthrie has in this entire thing. It's so good. It's so fucking good. He's like, he's like, oh, what do you want me to do? You want me to throw him off the property? And he's like, you're gonna kill them. And he's like, no, sir. Just like straight up.
It's cold. Good old boy.
With a period at the end. No, sir.
Pierce pulls a gun on the boy, and Sam finds that he's out of energy to blast, so it seems all is over, but Pierce can't pull the trigger. Xavier is free and controlling his mind. Pierce turns the gun on Professor X, and the two lock into a mind battle until Pierce goes slack and he's zombified. Yeah. There's a very Wolverine-esque series of 2 panels where they just show the two of them staring real hard at each other, and the narrator's like, at one point the battle could go either way, and then the next panel is like, but it doesn't, and Pierce is clearly defeated.
Yeah.
The kids pick themselves up. Tessa tells Xavier that the Hellfire Club will take care of Pierce, and all that's left is the tall Kentucky boy with the blonde crew cut and dumb Hellfire Club uniform on, standing in the middle of the room, looking confused. Sir, what do I do? He asks the only authority figure left. Before Xavier can answer, Roberto tells him to fuck off, and the gang roll out, leaving Sam alone in the wreckage.
Sam Guthrie. Oh, man. He's such a good boy.
Yeah, the first guy that told him what to do, he was like, absolutely, I got you, boss.
But I mean, it's like, he's like, oh, wait, this is a bad guy. I'm not going to listen anymore. And then when it's all over, he's like, hey, what do I do?
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir?
Essentially, if we're considering this like a war, essentially the general of the opposing army, he's like, you got a job? You got a job for me?
But he's like, well, he's so good,
yeah.
right? Because he did this to take care of his family. And then again, as soon as he's like, oh, wait, this is a bad guy, he switches sides, right? And then, Yeah, and then he doesn't know what to do, and then he's all by himself, and he's like,
It is.
hey,
I mean, if we're
I don't know how to make choices.
rebuilding the X-Men from square one, you need a perfect soldier, right? And I think this is a perfect way to illustrate that this is a guy that's going to listen to orders.
Right. This is a new Cyclops.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We do get an epilogue, Matt.
Oh.
2 weeks later, Professor X stares at some pictures of his first and second teams of X-Men and says to himself, "It's time."
Oh.
Jeanne pulls on her boots as she thinks of how Liang and Ya will be provided for, and her powers may do some good for the world. Roberto checks himself in the mirror next to a bikini calendar and a framed headshot of Wolverine, thinking of how if he'd killed Pierce, he'd have been just as much a monster as him. Danielle stands topless, looking at her new uniform and hoping that her decision to help Rain, rather than murdering Pierce while he was helpless to avenge her grandfather, was the right one. Rain worries that her new uniform is too scandalously form-fitting as she practices changing back and forth from wolf to girl while it stays on her body.
That's very cute. She's just like, hey, look at this. I'm wolf. I'm girl. Look.
She got shot. She almost died. She's allowed to have a light moment here while everyone else has heavy ones. Soon, all 4 new mutants are in front of the professor in the traditional yellow and black X-Men uniforms with bright red belts buckled with a big X. All except Danny, who wears fringed leather boots and a big old belt. Xavier tries to lecture her on being out of uniform, but she tells him she'll never abandon her heritage.
Yeah, I guess fuck everyone else's heritage. Right? Like, I guess, like, oh man, well, the Native Americans, they must honor their heritage, but Brazilians, nah, Vietnamese, nope. Scottish, no. It just Native Americans.
Well,
because that is the only culture that fucking Chris Claremont seems to respect.
You could argue that this is a good character moment for Danny, just being like, hey, I am not the perfect soldier. I am somebody who's going to dress up my uniform a little bit. It's the drawing a peace sign on your helmet in Full Metal Jacket, right? It's it's just I'm here, I'm fighting your war, but I'm doing it for me. Except that every time Chris Claremont gets his hands on a Native American character, this is their exact philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, even this, like, she can commune with animals, right? Like, she's like, she's lived in the mountains all by herself with nobody but her spiritual grandfather for all the, like, it's just, he clearly, like, honestly, this is so, he doesn't see the Native Americans as people. Like, just to be frank about it.
Yeah.
He sees them as these, like, this other sort of creature who he finds noble and beautiful, like a gazelle.
Yeah. It is a step up from what he did with John Proudstar, but
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's still a bit problematic here.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you would rather have Sam Guthrie, Kentucky white boy, representing his heritage and talking about how it's
what do you mean?
Part of his identity.
What do you mean? Sam Guthrie isn't here.
Xavier ponders to himself about how quickly Rain healed and how he'd have been stricter on Danny in a previous life, but is interrupted by a visitor at the door. It's Sam Guthrie, dressed in a full suit and tie, about to ring the doorbell. Very sweet.
He showed up in suit and tie.
Just like your parents tell you to.
Yeah,
Show
exactly.
up, suit and tie, ask him if they got a job.
Shake his hand.
They all greet him warmly, except Roberto, who doesn't trust Sam. But because Professor X is the leader, and because Rain, a pretty girl, asked him to, he decides to trust Sam. Professor X smiles as his new mutants laugh. The beginning.
Did you cry?
No.
Did you? I know you're a sucker for the beginning.
I do love the beginning. I gotta chill.
Okay, you gotta chill, no crying. Wow. That's the beginning of the New Mutants. What do you think, Pat?
I think this was really, really good. I had so much fun reading the story, and this is like you don't necessarily realize it until you get to the end, but this is an X-Men origin story. This is how an X-Men team forms. And
Right.
I know we're talking about like they didn't necessarily want to have to go back to basics to focus on the school aspect of it. What is clear, what they are focusing on from the original Kirby Lee vision, which I think is more important than the idea that they're students, is the X-Men are weird. The things that they can do are really strange, and they have to solve problems using these strange powers. And like, it should blow your mind, or it should have you say like, why the hell would that happen? Because that is
right
where the X-Men have come from. And that has been the core, even through them graduating from the school. That's been the core theme.
Right. Right. I think like it's not necessarily they didn't want to go back to basics though. I think it's more like they didn't want to write kids.
Sure.
But Claremont's actually really good at writing kids, right? He sort of understands their petulance and their silliness. He sort of understands the times and ways in which either absurdly or meaningfully they'll stand up for their own beliefs. He's got a real good feel for it.
Yeah, he really nails the confidence of thinking you're going to live forever.
Right.
Especially the way that he adapts it to these actual life-threatening situations, like them having to kind of grapple with that but still have that confidence. It's it's just something he's really good at.
And I think you're right about that moment, the cultural heritage thing setting Dani's character, right? That she is a defiant person, she is a proud person. And she is a person who's going to make her own decisions regardless of the other things around her. She's going to do what's best for the group, but her own way. So if you divorce it from Claremont's weird sort of noble savage trope that he sort of grasps onto, it does say a lot about Dani. And I mean, what do you think of these? What do you think of these characters? What do you think of? How do you feel about them? Just like first impressions.
I like them very much. I think that they're all pretty well defined. They've all got unique personalities. They've all got flaws. They've all. I love first impression. I love Rain. I think that she has a cool power. I think she is a cool person.
She's so like you've got a lot of different archetypes happening here. Like Rain is so innocent and pure, and that's juxtaposed with this idea that she's literally animalistic.
Yeah. That she's a wolf of all things.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And you've got Roberto, who is arrogant as all hell, and he already his like flirty side is coming out when he's like, "Oh, if a pretty girl tells me to do it, I guess I'll do it." But still, like,
but there's heart there. Like he's
still a hero, right? Like he's still like when he wanted to. Well, there's this thing that happens towards the end of the issue that I think is a little. They all talk about how they could have killed Pierce, but Claremont doesn't really give them that moment.
Yeah.
Dani is like, I chose to save Rain rather than avenge my grandfather by killing Pierce. There wasn't really a moment where she made that choice.
It was just kind of a reflection afterwards.
Right. And same with Sunspot. There wasn't a moment that he like had Pierce in his hand. Same with Roberto. There wasn't like a moment when he had Pierce in his hand and could have killed him but decided not to. It's just sort of like in retrospect.
What if I had gone straight for Pierce instead of being part of a team?
Exactly.
But yeah.
So yeah, and then there's Cannonball, Sam Guthrie. He's just a sweet boy.
Yeah, very humble, very directable.
Right. And of course, Shan, who we met before. I don't know what sort of archetype she fills, and I don't know. She almost feels like the odd person out. I don't know if you get that sense.
Yeah, at first she takes sort of the almost the Jean Grey role, the one where it's like, okay, you have a power that we're gonna figure out how to use, but for now, let's keep you as like a support character.
Right.
And maybe
I
that's
think
it. Because it all is, and I know we say this about Chris Claremont all the time, but it all kind of reminds me of a D&D party where
okay, yeah.
you've got your druid in Rain, someone who can transform into an animal and absorb its qualities. You've got your
wizard, which is Danny.
Yeah, your sort of area of effect wizard who can fight a little bit, so maybe more of like a cleric or a paladin. But
I mean,
you've got two tanks in the form of Sunspot, who is an up close physical fighter. Sorry, Roberto. And then you've also got the sort of ranged fighter in Sam Guthrie.
I think Sam Guthrie's kind of like your paladin, while Roberto is like I think he's like your barbarian.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And then
so Karma. In this, Karma is what to you?
Sort of a bard, offering encouraging words, able to take one person off the board really effectively.
Okay.
And very supportive.
Yeah. And she's like fucking 20.
Yeah, she's also the oldest, so they offer her a job at the mansion rather than being a student.
Yeah. All right. Well, it feels like we just read this, but Pat, do you want to hear about New Mutants #1?
Yeah, let's find out what else we can begin.
All right, New Mutants #1, Initiation. Chris Claremont and Bob McLeod, writer, co-creator, and penciler. Mike Gustavich, inker. Tom Orzechowski, letterer. Glennis Ween, colorist. Louise Jones, editor. And Jump Stupid, editor-in-chief. Release date, November 23rd, 1982. Cover date, March 1983.
Whoa.
We open with a bizarre scene in the Xavier Mansion bathroom where Stevie Hunter is giving Shan's hair a wash and cut while the entire rest of the New Mutants team watches.
Why?
First of all,
why is everyone watching?
She asks that. And Stevie's like, well, I couldn't keep him out. Close the door.
Well, we're about to see that Stevie Hunter is not equipped to take care of a pack of teenage mutants. I don't know how she got a teaching job. She's apparently a teacher at the mansion now.
Plus, Shan is about in that interview in the X-Men Companion by Fantagraphics, Chris Claremont says Shan is about 20 at this time.
Okay.
She's a 20-year-old woman who needs an adult to wash her hair and cut it.
Well,
okay, to cut it. Okay,
so
yeah, all right, fine.
They're being clear that she had a very out-of-date haircut, which she did. She had the female bowl cut.
Her right as an adult.
Matt, it is 1983. Get with the times.
Okay, so They're all having a goofy good time when suddenly the images of Shan's worst traumas, losing her parents, her painful escape from Vietnam, the pirates that kidnapped and abused her and her mother, appear. She instantly recognizes this as Danny's ability.
Ugh.
Shan leaps up and tackles Danny, swearing to kill her or to force her to kill herself
Yeah.
for making her relive those moments. Danny tries to explain this was an accident, but that doesn't quell Karma's rage. Stevie tries to separate them, but Karma quickly stops her.
Karma
Only a
possesses her and has her like back off. That is number one, terrifying, but number two, also just proving Stevie Hunter is not equipped to to be a supervisor here.
It's nothing against Stevie Hunter either, right? It is, these are fucking superheroes. These are superhumans.
They're also hormonal. They're so mad, full of emotion.
Only a firm forehead slap from Roberto is able to break through and interrupt her. God, so much
slaps
slapping.
win today again.
Giving Danny a chance to run off. Danny alone starts exploring the mansion and stumbles across the X-Men's bedrooms. She knows they were all former students, but Xavier doesn't really mention them. Who are they? Why aren't they here? Are they dead? Are these new students meant to replace them? And if so, will they share the same fate? There's a moment where she finds Kitty's room.
Yeah.
And there is a picture of Kitty and Peter and Ileana all playing in the ocean or something.
In the ocean together.
In the ocean. And Ileana is definitely a grown-up here. Like a teen.
She's
she's definitely not
a 13-year-old phase.
Exactly. She turned into a teen like a day before they all got kidnapped. Like immediately before they all went to space. When did they have time to take this picture?
The first thing they did was make her a bikini.
Like, well, we need to show these off. Like, that is... Oh, God. So, Danny finds Storm's attic room filled with plants that haven't been watered in some time and chews this all over while she waters them until she's summoned to the danger room with the rest of the gang. Cut to London, England, where Moira and Ileana have a meeting with Gabrielle Haller.
Do you remember her?
Yeah. She explains that she has a son. Not only that, but he's got psychic and possibly telekinetic powers that she's not equipped to help him with. And not only that, but also that the boy's father is Charles Xavier.
Whoa.
Okay. She leans on the fact that this boy is, quote, autistic.
Yes.
This is the 1980s version of the word autistic, where it was used to mean anybody, like any younger person with any sort of like
neurodiversity.
Yes. So no matter how much, if you are catatonic or if you have any sort of developmental disability, like on anywhere in the range, they just call it autistic. And that'll become important here, but
I was going to say it's unclear here because I don't know what this is. It's unclear if there is actually something wrong with the boy or if she's just using autistic as a cover to say like, hey, I need to talk to you about my special son.
Right. I think it's important that we just address it here now because we will meet this boy eventually. So I think it's important that we address right now that autistic here is an outdated use of the term. And God, What did Charles Xavier do to Gabrielle Haller? She's a fucking mess.
I know. She's a Holocaust survivor. Let her live her life.
She looks horrible. She's like chain smoking. She looks miserable in this. Yeah. And she's like, I don't want Charles to have anything to do with this kid.
Yeah. To be clear, Charles doesn't know he has a son.
Yeah.
It's just that this happens to be his son.
Knowing what we know about their relationship, like, this is a disturbing moment.
Yeah. What a crazy cutaway, too. This is an interlude for us.
And if you weren't reading the X-Men, you would have no idea who this person was. It's
right.
so interesting. It's so interesting that this is happening in New Mutants. But all right, back to the mansion where that same Charles Xavier is introducing the New Mutants to the concept of the Danger Room. After showing them the advanced courses he built for the X-Men, he reverts the room back to its minimal form and challenges each kid to simply cross the room and walk to the other side. Roberto asks if they're supposed to be the new X-Men, and Xavier snaps at him. He will never again form the X-Men.
Yeah, that was he was triggered.
I'm sick of forming the X-Men. I don't want to form the X-Men.
And at this point, it's important to remember that at this point, he's pretty sure they're dead. They've all been kidnapped by the Brood.
Yes, exactly. He also lectures everybody psychically on wandering the house, which clearly is just for Danny. And he's doing a beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Stay out of the West Wing.
Exactly. And here's just another stupid thing. Roberto brags about his gym, like the gym at his rich dad's house.
Yeah.
Impossibly, Pat. This comes back up in like 8-9 years.
Oh, I can't wait.
Not like anyway.
Remember, file this one away. His rich dad has a sick gym in his house.
So naturally, one by one, they all embarrass themselves trying to cross the danger. Remind me, did this happen to the other X-Men too? Cross the room?
It was not the original class, but I'm pretty sure he did it with the...
I think he did cross the room.
Oh, you know what? It was Kitty. It was Kitty's first Danger Room challenge was cross the room.
And she freaks out and closes her eyes and just
phases through everything. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so they all embarrass themselves trying to cross the danger room, foiled by obstacles crafted for each of their unique powers, except for Danny, who embarrasses herself by running away from the danger room and out of the mansion. She's wrought with anxiety about the challenge, about her lack of control of her powers, about that threat Karma made on her life earlier, and if she even deserves to live if she can't control her power.
It gets dark. She's really this is really powerful reflection that she's doing. It's not just lighthearted. It's like the early Cyclops, I wish I could control my powers stuff. This is so much more complex and dark.
I love each of their challenges too. First of all, I want to keep track of these. This is Sam's second time saying, I can't be hurt while I'm blasting. This is the second time saying it.
Yep.
In 2 issues that he's appeared. Also, they beat the Danger Room beats Cannonball by sucking him into a vacuum cleaner.
A pneumatic tube.
Sunspot is like, I'm gonna take this. Like he's thinking to himself arrogantly, and he's like, but wait, Professor X is gonna be reading my mind, and he's gonna know how to counter what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna embarrass him. So I guess he's just walking through thinking about boobs and vaginas.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, good for him.
Good for him. And Shan is like, how can I not beat this? I've fought against, and besides, Spider-Man and the FF. Shan, calm down.
Yeah.
Not barely. You barely did what you're saying.
Also, I don't think they're too thrilled about that. Maybe stop bringing that up.
It's not in the description here, but this another thing that we find out here, we get all their names.
Their
Roberto
code names,
DaCosta. His name is Sunspot. Sam Guthrie's name is Cannonball. We know that. We know Shankoi Man's name is Karma.
She possesses people.
Rain Sinclair's name is Wolfsbane. And Danny Moonstar, the coolest name in comics, Danny Moonstar, is called Psyche.
Psyche? Are you sure it's not Psych? Like, Psych?
Maybe that would be a cooler name. Like, what is a cooler name than Moonstar? Psyche isn't it, but Psych it kind of is.
Might get confused for a nickname for Cyclops. Oh my god, what if that's what Professor X is trying to do? He's like, I can't just name her Cyclops, but Psyche. My pet name for Cyclops. Psyche.
So, Rain Sinclair, you'll be named Reenie. Sam Guthrie, you'll be named Crawley. Roberto DaCosta, you'll be named
Sunverine.
They're all Wolverines.
Yeah.
Sunverine, except for Psyche. It's like he's like Carmverine, Sunverine, Wolferball. Rain finds Danny at the edge of the property, and the two have a long heart-to-heart about their powers. Rain loves hers to a degree that almost scares her. Sometimes it's better being a wolf. Danny considers hers a curse and talks about how her powers showed her parents their deaths in the form of a giant bear shortly before it happened. She also reminds us that she did the same thing to her grandfather at the beginning of the New Mutants graphic novel, showing him being beaten by the same armored goons that tried to kidnap her. It is actually very reasonable right now that Danny thinks that part of her power is showing people their own deaths. And I think it'll be a while. We know because the narrator tells us her power is to show people their deepest fears. But it's reasonable given what she's experienced that she thinks part of her power is that sometimes she shows people their own deaths.
Yeah. Like her grandfather knows that they're being pursued by these armored goons. So of course his greatest fear is them being killed by these armored goons.
Right. And so that raises the question, what is this bear story? She talks about how her parents, she pulled a image out of their heads about being killed by some giant bear, right? And then shortly afterwards, her dad left on some trip with a bunch of like hunting equipment, and her mom sort of begged to go with him, and she never saw them again.
Yeah.
So she assumes they were killed by a bear. But it raises the question to us, if we know that she doesn't actually show people their deaths, what the fuck was this?
Yeah. It's so cool to show us this level. This is what we missed from the original X-Men, is like these characters not understanding their powers on the same level that we do. What a wild concept to introduce in the beginning of their story. Yeah. So, the two also express that they already care a great deal for each other, and that the whole gang is already starting to feel like a family. Oh.
A car horn from out of sight interrupts them, and Rain runs off to hop in the car driven by Stevie, transporting the rest of the team. She lets them know that Danny's okay, but would rather stay behind while they head off to Salem Center Mall.
Salem Center Mall mentioned.
Also, Roberto makes some sort of comment about Rain developing as a woman, And Rain's like, I beg your pardon.
Yeah. She's mad.
It's just, very cute little interaction. So 2 men parked discreetly in a car on Graymalkin Lane report this activity to their superior, Henry Peter Gyrick.
Oh, shit.
Who reminds them they are only here to observe and report. Despite being told to never try to enter or operate the danger room without adult supervision, Danny takes her solitude as a chance to attempt the danger room challenge without everyone watching her. She engages the program made specifically for her, relying on her natural speed and agility from a lifetime of hunting and playing with wild animals.
Sure.
She says her only friends were animals. Damn it!
Okay.
To evade robots that try to close in on her. To her surprise, albeit with great effort, she makes it across the room and out the door on the other side. She's the only one to do this.
Nice.
The victory is fleeting, though, as a stun bolt hits her and knocks her right back through the door into the danger room. A mysterious hand at the control board engages a new program, and suddenly Danny finds herself in the advanced X-Men training that Xavier originally showed them. A strange jungle with a giant lizard-like predator bearing down on her. To be continued!
Ooh. Danger Room got some upgrades.
Yeah.
It's fully holographic now. It's got it's got a mix of physical objects and projections.
Yeah.
Is this so? I think it was last episode we noted that they had a scene where they were rebuilding the mansion, and you said there's a very important reason that they need the mansion to exist again. Is this that reason?
Just to have the new mutants.
So
they need a school again.
The X-Men, last time we saw the mansion, it was the frame of the mansion. It was still being built. It was not rebuilt yet.
Yeah.
The X-Men were in space and continue to be in space, but the X-Men, or the X-Mansion, is now complete.
Uh-huh.
Does this mean they restored everybody's rooms to as messy as they were before? Danny specifically comments on how messy Kitty's room is.
Oh my god, yeah. They rebuilt Storm's attic with all the plants and then chose not to water them.
Just so she would come back and feel like it was exactly as she left it.
That is so fucking crazy, dude.
What a weird thing to have the construction workers do.
I think specifically, like, I my belief is that that Claremont wanted them to move to this other island and get away from the mansion, and then had to bring a school back. So it's like, fuck, fine, I'll rebuild the mansion. But yeah, there's these things that just don't make any fucking sense.
A lot of times it seems like they just forgot that the mansion was completely destroyed.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Good stuff. Should we keep moving on
Please.
to New Mutants number 2, Sentinels?
Yeah, do it already.
Ooh,
Coward?
Chris Claremont, writer, Bob McLeod, penciler, Mike Gustavich, inker, Glynis Ween, colorist, Tom Orzechowski, letterer, Louise Jones, editor, and Him Hooter, editor-in-chief. Release date, December 28th, 1982. Cover date, April 1983. Within the danger room, Danny Moonstar runs from a weird dinosaur monster thing. She climbs a ledge to get away from it and thinks she's safe. She just has to follow the edge of the cliff, which is likely the wall of the room, to the door. But still, she can't help but think that someone has activated this trap for her and is trying to kill her. As she realizes this, a large brood appears and tells her that she's the only one who presents a danger to her, and therefore she must die. It shoves her from the cliff and she collapses on the ground, losing consciousness and possibly her life. Meanwhile, the New Mutants are hanging out at the mall with their teacher. Very cool. They just walked out of ET with Stevie Hunter and go to grab some ice creams when some public school kids start to harass them for being elites. One of them, Diana, settles down her pal Frank, though, and the two groups of kids start to make friends. This is all monitored in a high-tech government building by Sebastian Shaw and Henry Peter Gyrick, aka Project Wide Awake.
Why did you say AJA?
Oh, did I? Aha! Aha! Project Wide Awake.
I had to click. I had to like scroll up to see if I had written AJA and you were making fun of me.
Terribly frightened by these little kids, the two men discuss the imminent threat of mutants and how Roberto's public manifestation led them to the rest. His father, Emmanuel DaCosta, is a member of the Hellfire Club, but unaware of its secret inner circle, and Shaw wonders if he might be manipulatable.
Manipulable.
I don't think that's the word.
That is.
We also discover that he and Gyrich are working at cross purposes. Gyrich believes that their mission is to capture and examine the young mutants with a small secret strike team, while Shaw's plan is to use Project Wide Awake to launch a public attack on the mutants, scaring them into abandoning Xavier's dream and fearing the world so the Hellfire Club can scoop them up.
It's kind of a complex plan, right?
It is, but that's the Hellfire Club's MO, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just like manipulate people into, I guess, helping them be more powerful.
There's a moment here that I think, I don't know if it's prescience or if it's just that history repeats itself every 10 to 20 years in this country, but this is 1982, and Roberto very jokingly refers to himself as a terrorist. Not even, I forget why, not even because he's a mutant. It's just like they're telling jokes. And then we cut to this government building and they're like, oh, it's sure, he thinks it's funny that he's calling himself a terrorist, but realistically, he is. He's a mutant, which means he's inevitably going to be a terrorist. And if it falls under terrorism, then we should use the full resources of the government to create a campaign of racial law enforcement.
Right.
Which, again, in this country happens every 10 to 20 years, specifically with the word terrorist.
Right.
Like, it's just obviously, this has bearing on something that was happening at the time with the word terrorism, but it's crazy that it happened here. It happens in the early aughts. It happens again in the teens. Like,
right.
Anyway,
on a lighter note, when the kids are talking to Rain, they are asking about her incredibly short hair, because we haven't described the kids, but Rain Sinclair has really short, like Brillo pad hair.
Yeah.
And she complains about it. Like, she can't, it won't grow more than that. She just has this fuzzy little head. And one of the kids says, like, I love your hair. Is it punk or new wave? Or are you punk or are you new wave? And she goes, I'm Scots.
She's adorable. Back in the mall, Stevie is having trouble raising Danny on the phone, but doesn't get to act on her fears before a man covers her mouth and drags her into a closet.
What the fuck?
That man is Colonel Michael Rossi. Remember him?
Colonel Mike, do you remember him?
Is he the guy that Cyclops called a skinflint?
I don't. No. He is. All right. In X-Men number 96.
Okay.
So, like, way long ago. Remember when Stephen Lang had Project Armageddon, which was just Sentinels, and there was one guy who was like, he was like showing him the facility, and one guy was like, hey, wait, this is illegal. I'm gonna tell everybody about this, and I'm gonna pull your funding. And then his helicopter exploded at the end of the issue.
Yes.
That was Colonel Michael Rossi.
Incredible. Well, he's not dead, and he's here to help. And he's going to tell you how. But first, The kids are all eating ice cream with their new pals when some feds show up to arrest the mutants.
Yeah.
Frank, the bully from earlier, tries to fight the cops and Roberto refuses to go, but Jeanne advises they go along. They follow the feds to the parking garage when Stevie and Rossi ambush the police with a single gun and yelling. Rossi takes out...
Rossi has a gun. Stevie is yelling.
Stevie can project her voice.
Yeah.
Rossi takes one out and Cannonball topples a car into another. When a third tries to flee by car, Sunspot smashes with a cool punch while Karma possesses a fourth.
That is cool.
And Wolfsbane transforms and attacks the fifth and final guy. While Rossi tries to arrest the men, claiming they're from an illegal outfit, suddenly a Sentinel bursts through the ceiling. A giant blue and gray futuristic-looking version of the Sentinels who knocks out Rossi with some kind of gas. I love just the juxtaposition of a giant robot tearing open the ceiling, reaching its arms in, and then just shooting a little tube out.
Just like, psst.
Yeah. Sam blasts off into the Sentinel's stomach, pummeling him back through the ceiling. So cool. Only to discover two more on the roof. One's hands start punching through the garage trying to grab Roberto, who feels tired from using too much energy. As he draws his power from the sun, he realizes he's got to get outside, so he smashes through the wall, only to fall 3 stories to his death. He goes, oh, right, this is 3 stories up.
And he's dead, and it's weird that we never see him again. He's
an abrupt death, and not even like a heroic way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, he lands on a car and he's actually fine. The Sentinel underestimates Sunspot's strength and finds himself thrown through the fucking mall by its foot. Roberto climbs its fallen body and rips its fucking head off.
Roberto kicks ass here.
Yeah, he wrecks the thing. He's like a Warren Worthington that can fight. Outside, Cannonball streaks towards his chosen Sentinel, but finds himself frozen by the robot's Frigi-Beam. Thomas guest appearance. And carried unconscious off into the sky. Karma, who feels useless against the Sentinels, has an idea. She possesses Sam and turns on his blasting ability, sending he and the Sentinel flying high up into the air. The third Sentinel disintegrates a huge hole in the skywalk between Rain and Jeanne. Rossi wakes up and tells the gang they'll never beat the Sentinels the same way twice, as they learn from their mistakes. She sends Wolfsbane back to the garage to find the head government guy so he can call off the Sentinels, and tries to shoot the last one with a gun. How terrifying is it to have Sentinels? Like, we have read every Sentinel story so far, and every time they are foiled by their own inability to adapt when things don't go according to their programming.
Right.
And now we have Sentinels that see Sam Guthrie and they say out loud, like, oh, I didn't account for your power set calibrating. And then within a few minutes, they have what they need to take out Sam Guthrie.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty rough. So the way you defeat them, though, like Rossi shows, is you shoot them with a gun, just like a normal gun.
Yes. Yeah, they are vulnerable to bullets. I mean, we haven't met an X-Man that shoots bullets. Up in the air, all the ice is melted off of Cannonball, and he wakes up high over the mall with the Sentinel still holding on to him. He uses the momentum of his blast to spin around and head straight for the ground, gambling that his blast force will protect him, but the Sentinel will be shattered when it hits the ground. But he doesn't hit the ground. He hits the other Sentinel, and the two explode into pieces.
Yes!
Matt, does he mention that he can't be hurt when he's in his blastin form here?
Invulnerable while blasting. Count number 3.
Soon, the police come and take the federal agents into custody. They call the police. I love when the bad guys get taken away by the police at the end of an episode where they're literally tearing buildings apart. Soon the police come and take the federal agents into custody, while Jan uses her powers to force them to confess everything using words Rossi dictated to her. She has some moral misgivings about this, but Rossi warns them that this is just the beginning and they need to be careful. Back home, they find Danny on the ground in the danger room, hurt but not dead. They wake her up with pneumonia and she tells them what happened. Why couldn't they just wake her up here, by the way? They have to do like rub smelling salts under her nose. Why is that relevant?
Yeah, they don't explain it at all.
Stevie realizes there are only 3 people who could override the danger room safety codes, and the only one in the mansion at the time was Charles Xavier.
What the fuck?
Finally, we see Xavier asleep on his desk with the image of the Brood Queen hovering over him. To be continued.
Whoa.
Ugh.
A mall issue.
Oh my god, this is so fucking good.
Mall issue. There's a comic book store called the Fandom Zone in there, which I'm guessing was a real comic book store, right?
Probably. That's such a silly name.
They go get ice cream, and the ice cream store has a big sign that says, "Sorry, out of vanilla."
How do you? How does that happen?
They're walking out of E.T. at the beginning. Man, love a mall episode.
Yeah. I think this is our first X-Men at the mall. It was because this is when malls are starting to take over.
Oh, right. You're right. So this is, yes.
Also, finally, after several issues of the X-Men of varying size, here in New Mutants number 2 on the very last page, in the very last panel, we get some follow-up on the Xavier Brood storyline.
Yeah. Well, this was... Okay, so when did the Xavier Brood issue happen?
Xavier went goofy back in, I think it was in like the 150s, wasn't it? When he first goes catatonic, I assume that's the Brood infesting him somehow, and then because he just wakes up from his coma, and everybody's like, it's fine, let's move on.
I think we're supposed to have thought he defeated the Brood at that moment, right? And we're supposed to have kind of not thought about it until Uncanny X-Men 166.
At the very end.
Which would have been in November of 1982. So the month before. At the very end. Yeah, that's the big cliffhanger.
And so they have these release dates worked out pretty well too, where like you're reading these side by side if you're buying both comics.
Right. So it's close because the next
167 comes out before New Mutants number 3 that we're about to read.
It also comes out before New Mutants number 2, which we just read. So Uncanny X-Men number 167 came out like 2 months too early.
I guess
I'm guessing because of maybe Bob McLeod fucked it up.
Yeah. That is his claim to fame on these New Mutants comics. He could not meet deadlines.
Well, Pat, I think there's a lot more to say about these new freaking mutants.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you about them in New Mutants number 3, Nightmare.
Ooh. I'm loving these one-word titles.
Yeah, without exclamation points.
Yeah. Fundamentals.
Chris Claremont and Bob McLeod are the writer co-creators, and penciler Mike Gustavich is the inker. Tom Orzechowski is the letterer, Glynis Weins the colorist, Louise Jones is the editor, and Jump Smoopy is the editor-in-chief. Danny wakes up in the middle of the night to one of the fiercest storms she's ever heard. She peeks out the window, only to see a horrible, monstrous face staring in at her, bearing sharp teeth and glowing eyes. She pulls out her knife and opens the window to investigate, but nothing's there. Until she turns her back to the window, suddenly a living silhouette bursts through her window and wraps around her, bearing those same sharp fangs and glowing eyes. Danny notes that this creature has a physical form unlike her visions and stabs it real good. She runs to warn the others, but only finds all of her friends dead, each killed by their greatest fear.
Ugh.
The creature catches up to her and grabs her again, too strong for her to escape. As she flails, she rips a mask off of the creature, revealing the terrifying great bear that killed her parents. Pat that bear again.
Fucking bear. It is a scary bear, too.
Scary berry. Just a quick rundown what killed all of the New Mutants. It's Sunspot was killed along with Juliana by the gunfire.
Mm-hmm.
Sam obviously died in the cave-in.
Rain is being burned by the torch-wielding mob that was chasing her.
And Reverend Craig, yeah, and obviously Shan died in
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Or in her travel from
or
Vietnam.
Probably, by the pirates. Yeah. Anyway, so everybody's dead, and Danny's about to be eaten by a bear, and then she wakes up!
Whew.
Her night screams got everyone's attention, and she's relieved to see everyone alive. But the dream felt so real. Xavier assures everyone she's physically fine, leaving Danny to start questioning her own sanity once she's alone again, until she sees that her knife still has the creature's blood on it.
Ooh.
She jets down the hall to warn Xavier, only to overhear him on the phone with Moira. He's explaining that Danny has psychopathic tendencies that put everyone in danger and should be removed from the school. Danny, devastated by this and worried everyone else feels the same, considers just ending her own life.
Again, this is like, I mean, it's very, I don't mean this lightly at all, but this is like very teenage suicidal mentality. This is,
right.
He really nails like the difference between an adult having lost hope or having some form of mental illness that leads them to suicide, like the sort of the depression that just comes along with being a teenager, and how that can drive you to a low point like this.
Right. She runs into 1 to 2 fairly complex issues.
Yeah.
And it's like, my life is over. There's no reason for me to live.
Right. And like losing the trust of her mentor, going through all this torment, like it's just there's a very unique experience to being a child and being suicidal. And this is really, from my understanding of it, it's nailing it.
Yeah. What Danny doesn't hear, and we do, is Moira's end of the conversation on Muir Island. She outright dismisses Xavier's claims, and after the call, vents her concerns about his behavior to a very well-dressed Sean.
He looks so good. He's got the coolest fucking sweater on.
Sean, frustrated by all this and sporting another sharp outfit, goes for a walk and finds Ileana singing some sort of prayer out on the cliffs. She explains that Aurora taught her this prayer to honor the memory of her late best friend on her birthday. Sean, recalling that today is Kitty's birthday, tries to reassure Ileana that the X-Men could very well still be alive. Ileana privately thinks to herself that while she was thinking of the X-Men, the one she was thinking of died a long time ago. Some by Belasco's hand, some by her own.
What? What a fucking... she is dropping plot bombs. These are no longer seeds. She killed several X-Men from alternate time space areas in her 7 years in limbo.
Absolutely wild.
Jesus Christ.
We won't. I mean, this is stuff that's set up, and we won't.
Yeah, this is an interlude. This is them saying, "Hey, let's take a breather. Let's take a break from the action." Ileana killed several X-Men.
Also, Kitty's 15.
Poor Kitty had to do the Brood thing on her birthday.
She killed several X-Men, and Kitty's 15. All right, moving on. Also, they do the Proteus was conceived from hatred thing again.
Oh, yeah.
So she's actually jealous of what Gabrielle Haller is going through.
That's so fucked up.
It's oh man,
every woman
Claremont.
is a mother, and every woman is jealous of other woman.
Yes, and depending on how your child was born, is whether it's going to be good or evil. And man, there's like a lot not good happening here all at once. But moving on. Back at the mansion, Danny opens up to Shan a bit. The professor thinks she's crazy, and that very well may be true, but she's also sure that there's some sinister force that's been trying to psychically drive her away from this team. She's also got a horrible feeling that Xavier is somehow involved with the sinister force. A bit later, we see Sam shaving his face. The panel goes black, and suddenly his hot lather is cold. Written in shaving cream on his mirror is the message, "Meet us in the boathouse."
There's a boathouse?
The New Mutants gather together in the boathouse and debate whether or not Xavier could be up to something. When a skeptical Sam turns to leave, though, he and the rest of the gang see that the land outside the boathouse has transformed into an alien planet. Instead, they dip into the tunnels that apparently run all throughout the property underground, only to find a Brood Queen mother. It grabs Danny and tries to separate her from the group. Symbolism. Karma tries to possess the Brood, but the evil in its mind is more than she can bear. Rain transforms into a wolf and gets a good bite in on the sleazoid, slowing it down enough for Sam to ignite and rocket himself into the damn thing. Invulnerable while I blast count number 4.
Yes.
It disappears. But at the spot of impact, the tunnel has transformed from a sterile metal tube to an organic fleshy cavern. Ugh. Despite their fear, they push forward, trying to brace for whatever they're facing. The Brood Mother swoops in again, and she's got a weird long neck, and her like face. It's not. It's not as scary as either Cockrum's Brood or Paul Smith's Brood. It's kind of like silly.
It's a little weird. It looks. Yeah. It just looks like a big bug.
Yeah. Without like a smiley face.
Yeah.
The Brood Mother swoops in again, stealing Danny and sending a fleet of monsters at the rest of the team. Danny wakes up wrapped in some sort of substance, with the Brood reading her thoughts. You see, the Brood initially tried to get rid of her because her psychic abilities would eventually expose it. Why not Karma's, by the way?
Well, every time she tries, she recognizes the great evil inside of it and isn't capable of... she possesses people.
But after seeing her true power, decided that she would make an ideal Brood Queen along with the rest of the team. It's been psychically manipulating her power without her knowledge while also augmenting it to bring out its full potential. To this point, Danny's powers were only illusions, but the Brood has discovered she's capable of making them physical.
Jeez.
What the fuck? Once the explanation is complete, the rest of the team bursts in, ready to fight the monster. They all have a good try, but they don't realize that this is not a being they can defeat. It's a physical, psychic being that will just keep coming back.
Yeesh.
Danny is the only one that understands this and demands that Sam take her out as the only way to defeat it. He does so reluctantly, and as predicted, the threat is ended as soon as Danny is unconscious. Yeah, he just punches her in the head.
Yeah, he rocket punches her.
Mm-hmm. A bit later, Danny and Roberto share a tender moment out on the porch. She's relatively unharmed by Sam's rocket punch, just feeling like a weak link on the team and wondering if she should leave. Roberto assures her that he and the rest of the team are her family now, which is exactly what she needed to hear, and they go off to watch Magnum P.I. together.
They end this issue and start the next issue talking about watching Magnum P.I.
They love Magnum P.I.
Magnum P.I., of course, is Tom Selleck as a Hawaiian private investigator.
Okay.
It hit number 3 in Nielsen ratings in its 82 to 83 season, so right around when this was being written and coming out. And the
Okay.
theme song itself, about a year before this, hit number 25 on the Billboard charts. Look up the theme song if you get a chance. It is an all-time great TV theme song. It's up there with like Night Court and Hawaii Five-0.
Man, this is something that's really great about especially Sunspot. Is he fucking loves Magnum P.I.
Of course he does.
It's his favorite thing. His 2 favorite things are Magnum P.I. and Wolverine.
It's, his behavior up to this point is explained so well by those 2 influences.
All right, Pat, I'm done reading the New Mutants. I don't want to read any more New Mutants.
Ooh, we might have to make some adjustments to our podcasting schedule then, Matt.
Oh, no, I'll read it in the future. I don't want to read any more today.
Okay.
Can I never read any more today?
Today, we're a damn X-Men podcast. I am not leaving until we read at least one X-Man.
Okay, read me an X-Man then, if you are so smart.
Let me pull one out of my stack here. Let's go with Uncanny X-Men number 167, The Goldilocks Syndrome, or Who's Been Sleeping in My Head? Stan Lee presents the usual assortment of clowns: Chris Claremont, writer; Paul Smith, penciler; Bob Wyacek, inker; Yankus and Ween, colorists; Tom Warzakowski, letterer. Yankus and Ween, attorneys at law.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'd like somebody to yank us my ween, if you know what I'm saying.
Louise Jones, editor. Jesus Christ, man. Louise.
What did I do? What do you think I did?
Louise Jones, editor. Dim Cooter, editor-in-chief. Release date December 7th, 1982. Cover date March 1983. The New Mutants are enjoying a quiet night at home watching Magnum P.I. when all of a sudden the X-Men burst in through the windows and doors.
Jesus.
Why did they have to break down the door to get it?
I know. Maybe they're like, this can't be the real mansion because when we left, it was destroyed. Also, why did they come back to the mansion? Why didn't they go to the
island that they thought everybody was staying on?
Exactly.
Well, because no time to explain that now, they don't stop to explain. So the kids panic. Cannonball takes charge, blasting Colossus straight back out through the wall across the yard. Cyclops hits the living room with a wide beam, telling the kids he means no harm, but demanding they stay out of his way. Danny pulls an image of himself transformed into a brood out of Scott's head, while Wolfsbane, seeing Nightcrawler go for the second floor, turns wolf and pounces on him.
Fuck yeah.
Sunspot in sun form gets knocked out by a single punch to the back of the head from his hero Wolverine. Truly is the new Warren. But Wolverine is slowed momentarily by Karma, who can't quite control him. All the while, Shadowcat is phasing through the walls to get to who?
Sprite.
All the while, Sprite is phasing through the walls to get to the professor's study with a brood gun strapped to her back in a brand new pink jazzercise outfit. It's pretty cool.
It's cool. She's got like a headband and everything. I guess she had the Shi'ar ship make this for her.
Yeah, she must have.
Yeah.
She manages to sneak up on the sleeping Xavier, but in the last minute, she hesitates. He wakes up and she fires. Back downstairs, Roberto has recovered and leaps back onto Wolverine, giving him a good punch to the jaw, But Wolverine punches back, knocking the poor boy down the stairs. Nightcrawler bamfs out of Wolfsbane's claws and knocks Danny and Jan's heads together, taking out the last of the New Mutants. Like
So
the Three
brutal.
Stooges.
Just a clonk.
But suddenly, Kitty's limp body comes flying from the balcony to land on the first floor.
Jesus Christ.
Behind her, Charles Xavier transforms into a terrifying brood creature and charges. Cyclops lets loose a massive optic blast and sends the brood flying through the fucking wall into the yard, past Colossus, who is carrying an unconscious Sam Guthrie by the shirt.
This is so fucking cool.
It's
all right.
Yeah.
Fucking all right.
First of all, we get like the initial encounter. It's probably 10 seconds that actually pass in real life, right? But we see the New Mutants for the first 3 or 4 seconds actually hold their own. They are a powerful fighting force, but it becomes very quickly clear they are not the X-Men. The X-Men are elite.
And Sam takes charge immediately.
Yes.
He's like, mutants, pick your targets, and then fucking he aims for what looks like the toughest one and just blasts him out of the mansion. Like, I gotta take this guy out of here. And that fucking line, mutants, pick your targets, so good. Roberto fighting Wolverine is so cool. He just like charges for Wolverine, gets knocked out immediately, picks himself up, charges at Wolverine, gets knocked out. Colossus taking out Sam off panel, like you said, like they are formidable, but they are not X-Men formidable.
Yes.
Kitty thrown from the second floor, like her body just like limply falling, like that's so horrifying. And then Cyclops just blasting that brood just straight through the wall, like immediately,
instinctively.
Yes, so good. It's so good.
Also,
but it also starts with the most absurd thing, which is them just bursting in and
This also Kitty is also like she's struggling with it internally, but she's ready to kill Xavier. She's the one that manages to get through. She's got the gun.
Yeah.
This is the outfit she chose to assassinate her mentor.
It's my Xavier killing outfit. It's bright pink. It's a jazzercise outfit. It's got a nice blue headband.
Yeah, in case things get sweaty.
It's like there's like a suiting up scene where she's pulling on her giant blue boots and straightening her big pink collar and
puffy pink collar
and tying her headband over her hair.
And finally, just before we move on, the scene of Colossus just like slowly but dutifully carrying an unconscious Sam back, like it's a wide shot when the brood goes flying out of the building propelled by Scott's lasers, and you just see this little Colossus going like, oh, as he wanders back into the battle.
It's that cool thing that sometimes the X-Men are so that rules, but there's a cool thing happening there too, where sometimes the X-Men are amazed by each other's powers, and as he sees the brood flying from Cyclops's blast, he yells, he gives a by the White Wolf, which is dumb, but like still it's that sense of
sentiment,
awe,
that the X-Men have for each other that makes them so special.
Which they constantly, they're just like, I can't believe these people are my coworkers are this fucking powerful.
It's
it's awesome.
You'll hate this comparison, Matt, but it's very much like watching the sidelines in a football game or in any sport, really. The dugout.
I
in
don't
baseball.
think it is. That's probably not true.
Colossus, already outside, charges the brood and gets thrown back towards his charging comrades. Wolverine takes a flying leap, hopping off the hurtling Colossus. It's so cool. And slices the stinger from her tail. I
I didn't include this in the fucking recap, but he acts like he's going. The narrator explains this. He acts like he's going for her head, so she guards her head, and then he changes his target at the last second and slices her tail off so she can't defend.
Yeah. Incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Taking out like her primary weapon.
Yeah.
Karma rejoins the fight, realizing that she was on the wrong side all along. She tries to possess the Brood, but her powers rebound on her, causing her pain. The Brood escapes into the air, only to be met by the Fist of Binary. Remember? She's with them?
Wow, and they positioned her up there.
Yes.
And again, they're just good at tactics.
If it starts to get cosmic, if he starts shooting off into space, we've got
You
Binary
don't
up there.
let them escape.
Yeah. As it falls, a blizzard kicks up around it and Storm hurls it back to Earth. The X-Men and New Mutants converge on the crippled Brood Queen. Wolverine and Cyclops briefly argue over whose responsibility it is to kill it. But the Professor begins speaking through the alien. He asks his former charge to kill him as there's no other way. This convinces Cyclops to wait and see if they can save the Professor, challenging anyone to argue object. Wolverine...
He's like, yeah, I am going to kill Professor Xavier. And then Professor Xavier's like, yeah,
yes,
good. This is true.
Me.
You need to kill me. And he's like, oh, wait a minute.
Actually, you don't tell me what to do anymore.
Dad. I mean, Professor.
He challenges anyone to object. Wolverine does. Storm doesn't. And the New Mutants are just in fucking awe.
Yes. They're just like, oh my God, that's Cyclops.
Later, aboard the Starjammer, Sikorsky is trying to clone a new body for Xavier with Moira's help while Kitty heals from the battle. The plan is to clone his body, take his consciousness out of the Brood body, and put it in a cloned Xavier body.
Yeah, you're speaking incredulously. Why?
Kurt comforts Storm as she mourns that their relationship with Kitty is being supplanted by Kitty's relationship with Illyana and Peter.
Yeah.
While Storm comforts Nightcrawler for his worries that the New Mutants won't accept him for his looks. While Scott worries about Xavier, Corsair and he have a heart-to-heart. Corsair no longer belongs on Earth, so he intends to return to space. But before he does, he wants to introduce Scott to two people he never knew existed. His grandparents.
Wow.
The touching moment is interrupted when Gladiator of the Imperial Guard arrives asking to see Lilandra. Deathbird has taken the Shi'ar throne and Gladiator believes her unfit, but first, he's upset at the Fantastic Four.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It seems they've recently helped a dying Galactus heal and giving him a new herald.
Who is it? What? They gave him a new herald? Pet, what's this all about?
I don't know, man. I'm not following the Fantastic Four.
Okay, so then why are we watching this scene?
Lilandra projects herself into the Richards room and yells at them while they're asleep and nude.
Why is this happening? Why is this here?
Is Claremont doing like a guest pen on Fantastic Four, maybe?
There's like a good... This is such a good issue if you take out this whole scene. Okay, to be fair, there's a really cool moment where Corsair cucks Gladiator. Gladiator's like, I demand you take
see Lilandra.
And he's like, hey, buddy, you're on my ship. You don't make demands. You ask.
You ask. And he rages, and somebody has one of his companions has to be like, man, he's got you. Corsair has you by the balls right now.
And he's like, fine. May I please see Lilandra?
When Lilandra gets back, it's to some good news. Sikorsky has successfully cloned Xavier a new body. They wheel it in. They wheel it in, and the surprises keep coming as he stands up from his wheelchair. Though he does collapse again immediately because while his legs are fine, his brain isn't used to walking yet. This is what's the point? Just to tell us that Xavier hasn't been doing his physical therapy? Like
it's just Claremont is like obsessed with these little like minute details of like, actually he wouldn't be able to stand up yet because
he doesn't remember how to walk. That's
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's like phantom limb pain. It's like
That's not what they describe. They say that his muscles work just fine, but his brain hasn't connected to them yet.
Yeah. Well,
and it puts him in immense pain.
I do think that's the description of phantom limb pain, but I think that's how it works, right?
Xavier is happy to see his old team alive and well and introduces them to the new team, instituting one small change. Kitty is leaving the X-Men and joining the New Mutants. The end.
The end.
The end. What a prick. He is back for not 5 minutes after being transformed into an alien creature. He's in a brand new body. And the first thing he does is tell
Kitty out
of the He does this all the time. He sees everyone getting a happy ending and he says, I can bring some bad news into this situation.
Actually, I've got a letter here.
And it will change the fate of the X-Men forever. Kitty, you're on the other team
now. We're switching from a blue mailbox to a red mailbox. No, fucking yeah, Pat. You called him a prick, but would you say maybe he's would you say he's like? Would you say he's a jerk?
You know what? Professor Xavier is a jerk.
Whoa, Pat! Calm down there, buddy. I don't think anyone else feels the way you do. Wow. All right.
Holy shit,
what
man.
What a fucking story, man. And I so that's like, I mean, I guess the real end to the Brood Saga, right? But you need to introduce the New Mutants before you get there. And man, what an introduction to the New Mutants.
Yeah. This was so good. Not just, I think, because we are introducing new characters. Like these are very cool new characters.
Right.
But it seems
we sorely needed at this point of the podcast.
Yes, we were just too busy fawning over Kurt Wagner.
Yeah.
But not only are we getting these new characters, this is essentially like the what was it, 1999 2000 Ultimate Run almost, where it's like, okay, if you could start this hero's origin story, if you could start the X-Men's origin story over, how would you do it? And
yeah,
I think they do exactly what you would want to see, right? They instead of centering it on some like, oh, these are the good mutants, these are the evil mutants, or here's some like bizarre threat that you're just uniquely equipped to handle. It's
right.
Their antagonists are themselves and racism. Like they're victims of their own powers. They're victims of the Hellfire Club, motivated by anti-mutant sentiment. The Sentinels are immediately introduced as a very high level threat. Like, if you were to condense the first 30 issues of the X-Men into a graphic novel in 3 issues, it would be this. These are the high points. These are the things that like make the X-Men the X-Men.
Yeah. There's a thing, and so this is a really good example of this, and an example of it working. But this is a thing that happens sometimes where a creative person is part of something that becomes amazing. An example of this might be Adventure Time, the TV show Adventure Time.
Yeah, sure.
It started out as a silly little cartoon that had some sort of like, you know, what's the word? Satirical commentary on Saturday morning cartoons and D&D, and like it was a mature but also stupid and immature cartoon.
Yeah.
from the very beginning. But it grew into something really mature and maybe one of the best shows to ever be on television.
Sure.
It grew into something just like epic and amazing, and really like explores a lot of deep themes and fleshes out its characters in its world, right? And then you have all the creators from Adventure Time go on to other shows like Steven Universe or Infinity Train or Owl House or whatever.
Yeah.
And when they start these new shows, I think Steven Universe is one of these that I think the strongest about.
Yeah.
You have these creators who are like, who start with like, okay, I'm going to tell an epic story. And I'm going to set things up from the very beginning, and I'm going to really build these characters, and I'm going to really build this universe. And it just doesn't hit as strongly.
Sure. Yeah, it
And-
misses some of that authenticity that you get from trial and error in the beginning.
So this is a phenomenon that I've noted a lot of times throughout culture, and I'm always frustrated by. And yet, here it is 30 years before these examples I'm talking about, 40 years in some cases.
Yeah.
And it's done so well, right? The amount of shit that Claremont, not only is he refreshing the franchise, not only is he setting up new characters and new relationships, he's doing it organically, and he's making them earn it. And he's setting up these long stories from the very beginning. What's up with this bear? How does Ileana tie into this? Who is Gabrielle Haller's child? And how do these things tie together? Even fucking from the very beginning, something was off about Xavier.
Yeah.
But not so off that he wasn't still Xavier, but off enough that like, something's a little weird. He's like being a little snippy and
You're
like
uncomfortable.
It's just such a good example of something that's done so poorly, so often.
And done with expertise here.
Expertise, huh?
Is that taken? That should be an X title. Experts.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's Pat Steals and Steals.
Oh, that's the buzzer, folks. That means that it's time for Pat's Steals and Deals. We got a good one for you today, Matt.
Ooh, all right. I like a good one.
Basic nunchaku kata. Learn unbeatable self-defense. Free with course. Here's the deal, Matt, or maybe the steal. Free with this course. Nunchaku sticks.
This is nunchaku kata, you're telling me.
That's right. Because for the uninitiated, that is fighting with nunchucks. And the course itself, $7.95. The value of the dollar has dropped officially in the US. So comparing this to $1983, it's about $3.25, bringing the whole thing, this course, to in today's money, about $25.84. Now, you may say for a self-defense class, maybe that's a little expensive, like a mail-in course on self-defense, that's expensive. But it also comes with a pair of fucking nunchucks.
Yeah. Now, do you think this is just a book, or do you think this is a VHS?
No, I think this is just a book. I think this is like a pamphlet that you get. You get 3 pages on how to use nunchucks, and then also a pair of nunchucks. You're undoubtedly going to hurt yourself, probably very badly.
Now, what is this company?
This is the Hughes Company, Matt.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I tried to look up Hughes Company nunchaku, but apparently there's too many people named Hughes offering nunchucks lessons on the internet right now to narrow down where this is coming from.
Oh man, if you are a person named Hughes offering nunchuck lessons,
mutantmenacepod@gmail.com. Please let us know.
Oh man. All right, this is actually a deal. I mean, a steal.
Yeah.
It is both.
This is pretty good. You'd get this one?
I think I'd get this one. I
All
think I'd buy
right.
nunchucks and nunchuck lessons for $25.
Mission accomplished.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's at
Oh, Matt, this was a good one. I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah, it was so fun to meet the New Mutants, and I'm excited to get to know them better over time, though it'll be a minute, right? Because we got some, we're going to have some special episodes over the next few.
Yeah, we have a holiday feast through the rest of the month here. It is nuts, some of the stuff we're getting into. God,
Yeah.
man, Wolverine.
Killing Wolverine. Yeah, I mean, it's wild that this was all happening at the same time. The Brood Saga, New Mutants being introduced, the graphic novel God Loves Man Kills, the Wolverine miniseries with fucking Frank Miller, you know, good Frank Miller.
Yeah.
And then we come back to the New Mutants and to the X-Men and find out whether or not Professor Xavier is a prick or a jerk. Which one is he? Well, I guess we'll find out.
I can't wait to read the famous X-Men issue. Professor Xavier is a prick.
That, if we ever make merch, that's the
tagline.
That is our first shirt. Is one of us. I don't even know what's on the front of it. Like, that'll have to be something we think of. But like, Professor Xavier is a prick.
Professor Xavier's a dickhead. Very good.
Also, you guys, we have gone through so much story in the past, 20 episodes?
And don't remember a lick of it.
And we've got new characters. We're entering like a new era. We're going to see a bunch of new shit. So we've got another story so far bonus.
That's right.
A previously on Mutant Menace podcast, and we need one of you. So this is your last chance to email mutantmenacepod@gmail.com. And what's the subject line?
The story so far.
Story so far.
Nobody that's volunteered so far has followed that rule, though.
And volunteer yourself. If you volunteered last time, you will be put in the drawing this time, and we will pick at random.
That's exactly 2 of you.
Right. So, but if you feel like guesting with us, we want to have a fan on to help us remember all this shit.
Please do. All right, folks, as always, please like, subscribe, follow, comment, rate, comment, review. Thank you. That's the one I was missing. Tell your friends.
You're going to be at Christmas. You're going to be at Christmas with all your family and friends. Tell them about this cool podcast you know about. Tell your family about us. Finally, after all this time, stop hiding us from them.
That's our key demographic, nerds family.
You don't. It's actually insulting that you haven't told your family about us after all this time.
Also, what if you've got like a cousin that's really into it, into this podcast, but you're too ashamed to talk about it at Christmas, and so are they, so neither of you get to have that conversation?
How many of you haven't been friends with your cousin since you were little kids, right? You're friends with them when you used to go to the beach, with your family as little kids, and then like you drifted apart. Let us bring you back together.
Take the damn opportunity.
Stop being embarrassed.
You only get one family. If you're estranged from your family, then just tell your friends, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, or say, please don't contact me but I need to tell you about this podcast.
No, if
and
you're
then send
listen
him
to
an
me,
email.
if you're estranged from your family, fuck them. They don't deserve to listen to this podcast.
That's true. All right. No, that's fair.
Tell us about
But
this podcast.
maybe send them an email and just say, don't contact me. I don't want to hear from you, but I do need to tell you about this podcast.
Don't forget that last part. Otherwise, it's really weird.
All right, Mutant Menace Pod on Instagram. Follow us there. We do, episode art original episode art for each episode. One day we'll put videos back up on there of clips of funny stuff we said during the episode.
mutantmenacepod@gmail.com to be on Pat's email corner. Please join our Discord. We'll put comments. We'll put note or the link in the comments and a link in the notes in the comments.
A link in the comments and the notes in the comments and the links. So that leaves just one thing left. No, two things left. First, thank you to Krills Wilson and for the music, and Julia Selly for the voice of Trish Tilby. And I just have one more thing to tell you, Pat.
What's that, Matt?
It's the thing I tell you at the end of every episode.
Oh yeah,
the thing to just like keep you inspired and keep you coming back, keep you hanging on till next week. And that thing, as always, is all white men are our enemies.
That's right, folks. And as always, your powers have nothing whatsoever to do with Satan.